Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with that painted book that we did, where we have painted all the background pages. Now I have to say I've got a couple of pages here that I've yet to paint, so you can see them here in the back. But I'll just give you a quick flick through of how it looks now. So we've got all these wonderful painted backgrounds ready to use. So I've got a few different shades. I should have done some more, you know, maybe some vibrant blues or something like that. But I'm quite happy with them, you know, as they are. Love this one, I have to say. So yeah, I thought we could come along and then we could just enhance them. So that we can just play around and see, because we talked last time about then how you would be able to use this book. So, I mean, of course, these backgrounds, they're perfectly fine for using exactly as they are. But they could also obviously be further enhanced. You could kind of stamp them, you could stick things on them, you know, and then you'd have these whole bunch of background papers ready here for using. So I've got my heavy gesso here, not here, my heavy gesso here. And then I've got my stencils here. And we can just obviously stencil some of these pages and things, so that we've got, you know, a bunch of different kind of looks. So this is my heavy gesso in black. Now I have to say, I find the best way to use this is I like to use a card. Now I'm going to use this. This is some chipboard, what do you call it? Well, chipboard shapes, I suppose you'd call this. But obviously it's got a straight edge, so I'm just going to cut it down. This is a heavy grade gesso, so I just scrape some out. I haven't used it for a while, so it's a little bit even heavier than normal. Oops. And also down to the bottom of the jar, which is a bit annoying because it's a little bit hard to get to, but we'll just get some of that out. Ooh, like that. Oops. Oh, this is weird. It's gone really yeah, really heavy, but anyway, there we go. It's beginning to work the more I kind of play with it. So yeah, go on like that, and then it's becoming more, well, softer, I suppose, easier to use. So like that. Okay. Oops, like that. Okay. Like that. Oops, got a lot of flaky gesso there where it's gone, it's almost crumbly. Well, I mean, that part was crumbly, but you know, we can then obviously go around the page doing some more. So I'll just put this, oops, let's kind of do some, maybe kind of like here, opposite. So again, let's get some more of this. Oh, I can tell I'm going to be very messy again by the end of this video. So I seem to spend all of my life in a mess. So my jumper's got hot glue sort of stuck all over it, where I accidentally got, actually I don't think it was hot glue, it was wet glue stuck on my sleeves. Won't come out in the wash or anything. So yeah, I'm gradually ruining all my clothes and getting messier and messier. Oh dear, not good. Okay, oops, got quite a bit on here. I wonder if I can scrape that off. There we go. Okay. Like that, and a bit more. Okay. Oh, I don't know how much I even got out there, to be honest, but okay. Oh dear, big blob there. So yeah, you can see I'm obviously not doing very well with this. If anyone knows any tips for thinning down, you know, the thick heavy gesso when it goes a little bit dry, then please share below, because I'm not brilliant with things like gesso. It's kind of a newish material to me. Newish material, newish medium, that's the word. Newish medium to me. So yeah, I don't really know how I would thin this down, but I suspect that somebody out there has got some brilliant tips for how to thin it down. So, oh my goodness, look at it. Okay. I mean, like I say, once you get, you know, once it sort of warms up, it actually does improve slightly. Perhaps I should have heated it up with my heat tool, and perhaps then it would have been okay. But anyway, I mean, it is working okay. And obviously, you know, this is just forming our base papers. And obviously when you use these, they're probably going to have things stuck on them anyway. So if you've got like a big blob, it probably doesn't really matter, because you could probably cover that up. So, you know, I don't think it's kind of the end of the world really. Like here and here, I've got quite a big blobby mess. I don't think that really matters too much. So just dust that off a bit. Okay. Okie dokie. Should we go in here a bit? Just go sort of in the gaps. Oops. Scrape that off. Okay, and just do a little bit in here, just filling in the gaps so I haven't got kind of a lot of white space, or in this case, I guess blue space, because it's a blue painted background. There we go. Oh my goodness, not a very good one there, is it? But yeah, like I say, I mean, I'm not going to get myself too much into a state about it. I should. There we go. And then this one, should we do this here? Okay. Right, okay. Okay, well, I mean, it's not brilliant, to be honest. I mean, far from brilliant. Oh my goodness, look, I'm smudging it even more around because it's kind of like stuck on my finger now, but oh well. I mean, I'm just here trying to give the rough idea. I'm sure it doesn't need to be perfect. Like I say, once we get using this, you know, the paper's going to be kind of covered up anyway. Oh my goodness, that's just crumbling before my very eyes. Okay, let's try a new piece of chipboard with a new piece. Oh gosh, that's sort of damaging the stencil a little bit because it's so hard. Okay. Right, like that. Okay. Yeah, we could go round to the corners. I probably should. Just because it's the type of thing that otherwise, you know, when I come to use this, I'm going to then regret having blank spaces, aren't I? So yeah, I think I should probably go up to the corners and the edges. So obviously you're going to find it slightly difficult to get to your bits that are next to the spine, but hopefully not, you know, not impossible. So just go in like that. I mean, you know, you don't have to have it all over, just so as you've got a little bit of stuff going on and not completely blank. You can see, I mean, this gesso is kind of crumbling off, so it's pretty, yeah, pretty crumbly. That actually crumbled right off of here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how brilliant and how successful this is going to be, but let's just do a little bit in this corner, and then we'll probably call this quits for this page. So, oops. And just a little bit over here. Oh. I can barely actually even scrape it out the jar. So that's really annoying. Oh, come on. Ah, right. Okay, let's just dust that off. Okay, so we've kind of got the idea there. Right, let's just dust that off. Put this away. I'm not going to throw it away, even though it's all dried up and seems like it's useless. I'm sure somebody's got a brilliant technique, like I say, to, you know, get that back to life. And I wish that I'd asked for the technique of how to get it back to life before I did this video, because obviously I could have made a much better job of doing the paper. But like I said, I don't think it's going to matter, because I think we're still going to end up with something pretty good. So I'm just going to dry that off, because I want to then, you know, maybe go over with some distressing and things like that. So just go over that like that. I mean, it's quite thick and blobby in some areas, so yeah, not the best. Not my finest work, it's got to be said. But like I say, I mean, all I'm trying to do is really give you kind of an idea, really, of how this is going to be working as a concept for the book. The book of background papers, okay? So we're not going to get too worried about how tatty and rubbish it looks. Okay, right. Ooh. So, yeah. Let me just clean my hands off now, which are just really, really, really messy. Not helped by the fact it's black, actually. Probably looks even worse, doesn't it, than it would if it was white, but never mind. Oh, gosh, look. How messy. How messy am I? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Right. Okay, now is this dryish? Not too bad. I might just try it slightly more. I don't want to just smudge it when I go over with my distressing, so we'll just, yeah, go over it a little bit more. Okay, right, so I've got that. Now I'm just going to pull in some distress ink. Now I've got here my blueprint sketch, so I'm thinking this would be quite nice to, you know, to really vibrant this up and make it really, you know, really nice and bright blue. So let me just see if I've got, okay, so I've got a different, oh no, I've got an ink pad there that I've obviously used with the blueprint sketch before. I thought I probably would have. Okay. Oh, I hope this is dry enough, this gesso. A little bit concerned that it's not, but never mind. So I'm going to go in with the blueprint sketch. Now I'm wondering whether I might not even do it everywhere, but just more, you know, patches roughly, rather than like all over. We'll just do little touches of blue. I mean, this in itself is a really fun project to do. So if ever you were missing your crafty mojo or anything and you were just kind of wondering what to do, you just had, you know, an hour to play, or, you know, you kind of just fancied getting your art materials out and having a play, things like that. This is an ideal one to do for times like those. And it's all, you know, it's all prep ahead, because you're going to then have this wonderful book full of, you know, lovely backgrounds and things that you would then be able to use to make pockets and, you know, various different things. So I might just leave it like that. And then what I might do is mix it in with a bit of, you know, like walnut stain or vintage photos. Let me see which one I've got to hand. What is this? Walnut stain. So I'm just going to get my walnut stain and go into some of the patches with the walnut stain. Okay. Could even go over the blue with the walnut stain. Again, so I've got, you know, quite a different you know, variety of colour going on here. So, oops. Oh, that is so crumbly, that gesso. I'm going to actually have none left on here. Oh, it's so annoying. I wish that I hadn't used that. But yeah, I fear that I've kind of messed this up a little bit. But hey, let's just keep going with it. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if it all comes off all together, then, you know, it's fine. I can do something else with this. But just to give you the idea. Now, I've also bought recently this. Now, this is that Winsor Newton, and it's the ink. Now, this is the same brand as the white that I've used sometimes, which was kind of like inspired by Maramy Small Art. So Marta over at Maramy Small Art, she always uses the white Winsor Newton ink for her splatters. Never seen her use the gold, it's got to be said. So this might be a mistake, but I just thought, well, let's, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's try the gold ink, and hopefully it will be as good as the white. So we just go around there. Okay, get some splatters going all over that page. There we go. Okay, looking good, looking good. I'm quite liking that. Definitely the gold splatters do add to the effect, don't they? Yeah, quite liking that. Okay, right, let me just grab another wipe. Just going to clean the brush and then just wipe the desk, and then we'll just dry this, and we'll probably then turn the page and do another page. So, and if you're thinking, oh gosh, that looks so rubbish, not saying you're wrong, but obviously this is just plain, you know, plain paper at the moment. So when you came to use it, you know, as a pocket or, you know, piece of ephemera, it would hopefully look much better. I mean, I have to say, it reminds me a little bit of tiger print, this pattern on here. So, yeah, it's not quite as I'd hoped it to look, if I'm truthful, but it's okay. Not too bad. Now, I have to say, I've only ever used that ink as splatters. I've never done anything else with it. So again, I'm tempted to try some out and see what it would look like to do some other things with. Little bit scared because I don't want to spoil my papers that I have done. But we could try some out. So shall we try some out on those couple of blank pages at the back of the book? Which actually, although I'd left them blank saying I was going to fill them in, maybe that's a good idea, is to have a couple of blank pages at the back that you could experiment and try techniques before you try them on your actual pages. So yeah, you might actually decide having a couple of plain ones, having a couple of plain ones at the back is actually, you know, a good idea. Okay, so I think that's dryish. So yeah, I mean, I quite like that. Let me just bring it up to the camera. Like I say, I mean, it's not quite gone how I wanted. Obviously, that gesso was very, very dry and, you know, was not quite as I'd hoped. But, you know, it looks okay, doesn't it? And I'm just going to show you, I mean, I've got some plasters here. And again, I'm not saying that these are in any way coordinating or, you know, anything else. But just to sort of show you, I mean, straight away, if you put a cluster on here, it's going to look completely different. So, you know, no matter how kind of the paper looks, once you decorate it up, you know, it's going to look completely different. So, you know, don't be disheartened if it doesn't turn out quite as you'd hoped. So let's go to here. Now, I'm going to try just using that ink just to see. I'm going to perhaps paint some. So let's just try, let's do the splatters first. Like that. Okay, let's try painting with it. Oh, quite nice. Shall I try and see if I can stencil with it? Again, I'm not sure that this is quite the right thing, but let's just go over here. Let's just see what it's like, just smooshing it in. So that's smooshed in with a wet wipe. Right, so I've put a lot on here. Let's just see how this would look if we stenciled with it. Not bad, actually, not bad at all. So yeah, I mean, who knew that you could actually stencil with the ink? I actually don't think that's too bad, if you can sort of see that. So let's try stenciling with some ink, shall we? Okay, right, so let's go through the book. So that's our first page, which, you know, yeah, not overly thrilled with. Let's try just this page. So we're just going to the next page on here. Right, let's take these ones, which are those gorgeous kind of like the French adverts. Right, okay. So this is a wet wipe, okay? So again, it maybe would work better with a dry wet wipe. Perhaps I should have tried it with a dry one, but anyway, we'll see how we get on. This might be quite an extravagant use of the ink, actually. Now suddenly thought, because it's soaking in a lot to the wipe. And I don't know how much is actually going through to the page itself, if I'm truthful. Again, that might be because it's a wet wipe. So I've got a dry one here. Let's just try it on the dry. Okay. Aha. So maybe the dry is better. Yeah, this is quite an extravagant use of the ink. So, you know, I'm not necessarily saying this is great. Probably should have just used gold paint, to be honest. Oh, and it's not coming out brilliant either. Can you see that? Quite smudgy in there. Yeah, not great. Not great at all. So, weirdly enough, I think maybe it looked better on the wet wipe than the dry wipe. Yeah, so yeah, that one's not great. Let's try on this way. Not worried about which way up I'm doing this, because like I say, we're going to be then probably, you know, tearing these pages out, using them as, you know, background pages and things to make ephemera. So I'm not really too concerned about which way round it is. So let's just put some gold paint down there. Okie dokie. Never had much success stenciling with paint in the past, so yeah, we shall see how this looks. You know, I don't know. I've seen other people stencil with paint with much more success than I ever have. So I don't know. I'm probably doing something drastically wrong, but yeah, I've never really had much success or made it look very good, but we shall see how this one goes. Okay. that's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. Probably should have carried on. Oh, I've smudged that inky one all together, haven't I? So let's dry this off. Just got a bit of a blob of paint there. I have to say though, I do love the gold against the lilac. Isn't that beautiful? Looks very, very pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely love how that looks. So just drying the paint and the ink before I do any more stenciling, because otherwise I'm going to just smudge this all around. So yeah, I mean that was, well, it was okay. Not brilliant. Not brilliant. I definitely need to play around with my stenciling because I'm not very good at it, it's got to be said. Yeah, I mean it's obviously something, you know, that you need to kind of practice that. But right, let's put some more paint out and let's try it. Wonder if we should try that with a card. What do we think? Oh, I don't know. Or maybe a sponge. Maybe a sponge. Let's see whether I've got any kind of sponge in here. I wonder whether I could just use a blendy sponge. What do we think? Okay. Right. Let's just try one of our blendy tool sponges. So very much, you know, trial and error here. Aha, this might be better. Well, it might not be, to be honest. I mean, obviously we won't know until we peel the stencil up, but I feel like it might be slightly better. Peel that away and see. Okay, well that's better, isn't it? Yeah, definitely that's better. Not saying it's brilliant, but it's better. So yeah, I mean I probably do need to obviously practice my whole you know, stenciling generally quite a bit more, but it's definitely improved slightly with that technique. So just clean the back of the stencil off a little bit. And this one. Okay, so down here where I obviously did that, you know, that mess there, what I might do is just go over with a bit of, you know, just gold smooshes to just, you know, mix that in a bit. And then maybe we would dab that with some, you know, something else. So yeah, let's kind of go over like that. Doesn't that gold look gorgeous with the lilac? Like I say, absolutely love how that looks. Right, so then I might go in with some of this bronze. Oops, we'll try it with the bronze. Okay, so let's try down here again. Okay, like that, just a little bit more like that. Okay, let's just see. Okay, I mean it's not brilliant, it's got to be said. Not brilliant at all, far from brilliant. But again, you know, that's fine, because once we actually use this, you know, it's going to have things stuck on it. I think it will look okay actually. you know, once it's actually inked and dried and all the rest of it, I think it will look all right. So I've got this stencil. So let's just do a little bit of this now. So I should probably dry this off, just to avoid any further smudging, because let's be honest, I'm not doing too well on the smudging stakes anyway. So yeah, let's do that. And then let's just go along here. So should we do that with the gold again? I love the gold. Okay, like that. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look lovely? Ah, yeah, that one, finally. Finally, I've had one part that actually I'm quite pleased with. So let's just shut my door. Okay, so that I can just move the paper around. Let's do this one here. Okay. Then, oh, just have above it the cart postal. Oops. Let's have a bit in the gold, the bronze. Oops, that's not great because that stencil's peeling up there. So yeah, not brilliant, but it's okay. It's okay. Should we have a little bit of a flourish, or perhaps we'll have. Perhaps we'll have that 1812 because I quite like that. So let's just, all right, hopefully I'm still in frame here. So let's put this one down here. Okay. Like that. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? So yeah, so you could always kind of overlap actually, which I hadn't really thought of doing, but we could actually put some of this over the top of over here. So let me just put some more bronze down. And some more gold. Oops. Like that. And yeah, let's just kind of smoosh them in. So shall we do, let's do the Paris over here. So again, just kind of squish that down. Just put that one on there. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look gorgeous? So I really hope that the camera's picking that up, because that looks really, really pretty. So I'm thinking kind of overlap the stenciling. I mean, especially if you've made a rubbish job of it like I have, that's really great to overlap it. But maybe overlapping is quite a good technique anyway. So again, like up here, should we have that cart postal going right across the top of here? Don't know whether I'm going to make a very good job of this, it's got to be said, because it's quite long, but let's just try. So again, just get that over the top of there, and then here. Okay. Okay, well, I'm not minding that. What do we think? And then maybe kind of a couple of the little swirly type pieces. So we've got this little shape here. Should we have that somewhere? Let's have that down here. So again, just go in with the bronzy colour. Okay. Oh my goodness, this looks lovely. Yeah, really loving how this looks. I mean, again, you know, I must keep emphasising, if this looks really rubbish to you, don't forget, you know, this is going to be kind of torn down or cut down. It's not going to be, you know, used in its entirety here. So, you know, if you're kind of thinking, oh my goodness, that looks terrible, it's not going to be used like it is here. It's going to be just a portion of it, you know. So I think it will then, you know, will look quite nice. So, well, we hope we hope it will look quite nice. Oh my goodness, just even smudged that and moved it, but oh, pretty forgiving actually. Yep. Maybe it just depends on the stencil that you're using. This one seems very, very forgiving. So this is one of my oldest stencils, I think, and yeah, I do love this one. I've used it quite a bit, and as you can probably see, I mean, it's held up, you know, pretty well. So yeah, I can't remember where I got this. I think I probably got it on Amazon. Don't remember what brand it was or anything, but yeah, quite like it. Right, what do we think to that? So I hope that, you know, the camera's kind of showing that up. Again, don't forget, you know, this is going to have kind of things on it. So let me just, again, wipe my fingers before I touch my other clusters. Okay, so, you know, imagine this with some other, you know, with some clusters or something on top. It's going to look pretty lovely, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, I really think that they're quite nice. And again, you know, this is going to be quite a nice book to just even flick through, you know, to give you kind of some inspiration of some lovely background pages and things. So that's a kind of overlay stenciling, that one. Okay, let's do this one. So this one also looks pretty boring actually, doesn't it? So let's go over this with just maybe some, you know, some rough blobs of the gold and the bronze, just to put some, you know, some texture on the page. Texture, some, you know, some metallic, some different kind of effects on the page like this. Okay. Like that. Okay, and then go round there like that. And then I think with this one we're going to do some stamping. So again, try and go up to the edges, because obviously when you cut this out, you don't want to have it looking like you've, you know, kept in the center. You want it to look like you've gone right to the edges, otherwise it just looks really weird, doesn't it? So like that. Okay, so let's do some stamped here on this one where I've smooshed around the gold and the bronze kind of effects. So again, I've got some of my stamps here. These ones are available in my shop on my website. I've also got this huge corner stamp, which is also in one of the stamp packs in my website, which I'm trying to find the actual original packaging to show you the one that it is, and now of course I can't find that, so oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, can't find that. I've got my dragonfly stamp, so maybe we can incorporate some of that. Again, what I'm wanting to do is just get, you know, very kind of what would you call it, you know, rough stamping. I don't want it to look like an entire stamp put on there. I just want, you know, sections of it. So let's put that there. Again, stamping without a block here, because I'm only going for little portions like that. Now the other thing is, this is obviously very, very porous paper. This craft coloured card is very porous. The paint is, you know, kind of quite porous. You know, it's quite a powdery finish. So, you know, this is kind of stamping quite faint on here. So you might want to make sure you've got quite a juicy stamp block if you're doing things like this. You know, that's going to help you get a good impression. Let me just pop this back out of the way. That's going to help you get a good impression. But definitely just, you know, just something to be aware of is obviously if you've got the craft paper that you get in these kind of, what do you call these? Scrapbooks. They tend to be quite a porous paper. So, you know, just to be aware of that really. You're not going to get really dark prints from your stamps. It's going to probably be a little bit on the faint side. So that being said, this one seems to be coming out pretty nicely. So, and obviously, you know, the more you stamp them, the more ink that the stamp gets on it, you know, the better the impression will be. So like that. Okay. Okie dokie, so that looks quite good. So let's put that one away. Actually, and I'm just thinking, I have also got these clock stamps. These are also on my shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk website. So I'm thinking, actually, let's do a couple of clock faces. So maybe not that one, actually. Let's do this one. Can I see what is the right way and the wrong way? Okay, so again, just stamping it without the block. So we've just got, you know, little sort of sections. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look so beautiful? I love it. Absolutely love how that looks. That's gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely love that. Right, so pop that one away. Do we want any more clock faces? Or I think now we go for some of the documents. So let me put that one away. This way, and yeah, let's just go for a bit of document, I think, on here now. So like that. Okay, and there, like that. Okay, there we go. So doesn't that look absolutely gorgeous? Now, the other thing that you could do, if you didn't want this now looking quite so matte finished, you know, and kind of porous, what you could do is like Mod Podge over this or something like that, because then you're going to actually turn it into a much more glossy finish. Or, and this is just kind of coming to me on the fly, what you could do is kind of like use this with, say, some transparency over it, and then that's really going to be a very glossy kind of finish for your you know, your pockets and things like that. So, you know, you've got different options and things. If you didn't want such a matte looking finish, you know, you could always kind of change them around a little bit. But I mean, I quite like that, to be honest. Okay, let's go to another one. So should we do this one? So for this one, what I thought we could do is just pop some postage stamps down as our first thing that we're going to do. So let's just select some. I'm going to stick with sort of browns and neutrals as much as I can. So yeah, this is my little browny orangey. Oh, you see, now I want to hoard this stamp. I mean, what is wrong with me? Some of these stamps are so nice, I just find myself not really wanting to use them. Yeah, they're really nice, aren't they? Okay, let's get quite a few on here. Oh, I know I've got this man already, but I'm so sorry, showing my ignorance again. I don't know who that man is, but yeah, I'm so sorry. Not trying to be completely ignorant, but yeah, I'm just really rubbish and do not know who he is. Now, I'm just checking. Okay. One of those. Yeah, so I mean, we've got a lot of stamps here, haven't we? Yeah. Right, so I'm just going to glue these down. Oops. Now again, going to try not to pay any kind of notice, you know, getting bogged down in how I'm gluing these. So I just want to go really random, you know, not thinking about it, because again, once we, you know, cut this paper down, tear this paper down, it's not really going to be very important. Oh my goodness, look at that glue now. It's gone from not coming out to just pouring out now. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to mop that up. But let's just pop these down. So totally, you know, totally all over like that. Okay. like that. Okay. Like that. Okay, that one. Just going to put another one over the top of that one because it's quite, I mean, I don't know, but that feels to me like it's quite a new stamp, so don't want it looking too modern. There we go. Let's have that one. Oh, you know what I've done here, don't you? What did I say about those other pages? I said, don't put it all in the middle. Don't want it to look like everything's just focused in the middle and then suddenly your edges are all blank. What have I done here? It's all in the middle. My edges are completely bare. So now look what I'm doing. Going all around the edges and now my middle is bare. Oh dear, one extreme to the other. I thought I had tons of stamps on there, but now that I've started obviously placing them down, oops, they're actually not that many at all. Yeah, could definitely do with quite a lot more. So, oops, that's just, oh gosh. Well, that's going to have to go there now because I made a gluey mess. Oops, gluey mess on the paper. There we go. Oh, don't want him parallel with the other one. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter that much because obviously when you know, when the paper then gets cut up and things and used, it's probably not really going to be that noticeable where he's, you know, where he was in comparison to the other one. But yeah, let's just take my wipe, press these down, just pressing them with my wipe so that it's catching all the excess glue straight away. So like that. So sorry if you can hear Bo just kind of growling in the background. It's her friendly growl. It's her growl of, oh, be quiet, mum, disturbing me. She's been eating a little, I think it's like a chicken foot. Yeah, I mean, that sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Chicken foot, but she really likes them. I've only ever bought them for her this is the first time. I saw a packet and I thought, oh, I think she'd probably like those. And I just love buying her little treats to eat, to be honest. I mean, I have to kind of try and ration it because obviously I don't want her getting really fat. But yeah, and you know, a couple of friends who've obviously got dogs, they said to me, oh, they're really fattening those chicken feet, you know, so don't kind of overdo it, giving them too many to her. And of course, you know, I'm not the only person who loves giving her treats. We all love giving her treats. So yeah, need to kind of just watch that she's not then having too many. It's easy to do because obviously you love her and, you know, you want to spoil her. But yeah, must try and kind of, you know, just, yeah, make sure that she's not overdoing the treats too much. Okay. Oh, that's a bit yellow, so not that one. Oh my goodness, come on. Yeah, doesn't it take a surprisingly lot of stamps to fill the page? I mean, yeah, who knew that it would take so many? Strange, isn't it? But yeah, it does take quite a lot, doesn't it? Okay. Oh, that one's gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, it's a bit colourful for this, but, you know, because I'm trying to keep this just quite monotone. So, yeah, I don't really want one that's got actual colour. Prefer to keep them all just brown and orange if I can. So, yeah. Ooh, what's that one? Don't feel like I've ever seen that stamp before. Is that Belgium? I can't really read what that says. Let me know if you can read what that says. Don't feel like I've seen that stamp before, but kind of loving it, I have to say. Honestly, what is it with these stamps? I just really do love some stamps, honestly. Oh, now my glue's dripped out onto my stays on pad, would you believe? And dripped out onto there, but now not coming out for me to use. So, right, must be careful, must be careful. Right, because it's been resting by my hot glue gun, and that always makes it kind of pour out very easily. Okay. This one. If ever I don't like the stamps that much, like this one for instance that I'm sticking down now, what I do is I like to just put them in the background and then put something else next to it like that, where we've overlapped. So you've got a little bit of that stamp showing and then more, you know, something else kind of overlapping it. That's, you know, the best way that I find to use them. If I find them, you know, that I feel like they're a little bit boring, it's like, oh, best way to use those then is actually have another stamp just overlaid on it. So let's just press these ones down that I've just stuck down. Okay, right, I'll move these because I can't tell now which ones are stuck down and which ones aren't. Right, okay, so I'll just take this one, put it here, I think. Oh, I'm so sorry about my really messy fingers now. They obviously got very messy during the, you know, the stenciling. So, yes, they're very messy now. I do apologise for that. Okay. Put one down like that. Okay, just got one more. Oh, dear. And again, I mean, it doesn't really matter if they're a bit wonky. I mean, I have tried to put them on straight-ish, but yeah, some are a little bit on the wonky side. I don't think it really matters too much. Put that one in there. Right, do we think we've got enough? Or do you think we need more? This is a great use of using up some of your postage stamps. So, yeah, brilliant way to use some up. They look gorgeous, don't they, on here? So, yeah. And you could do all sorts of these pages in all different sort of colour tones. You know, we've obviously done this lovely brown one, but yeah, you could definitely kind of do them in some other colour tones, couldn't you? Oh, dear. Right. Oh, do you know I've stuck that on upside down? What an idiot. My eyesight's so bad, I couldn't even see that it was upside down. What on earth? Okay, right, now just go around because some of them I've got like corners that I can see are just lifting slightly, so yeah, just go around and stick some of those corners down. I mean, again, don't have to worry too much because when you come to use your paper, you're going to probably be sticking things onto it anyway, which will, you know, pin your papers down. But there we go. Oh, I've got another corner I've just seen now sticking up. Oh, okay, right. Let's just pop that down. Oh my goodness, isn't this one lovely? Love, love, love this page, I have to say. Now, a little bit nervous because I was thinking we would either stamp or stencil over this. It's got to be said, I'm now feeling a bit nervous about that because I love how it looks so much that I'm like, oh, not sure I want to ruin it, to be honest. You know, by stamping over it, but yeah, I mean, I probably should because that was my original plan. And, you know, if I don't, that just seems pathetic. You know, why am I now backtracking and thinking, oh, I mustn't do that? Yeah, I must be brave. Right, let me have a look behind me because I think here, what have I got here? Just see, oh, what have I got here? Just having a look to see whether I want to do like some copper or, oh, actually thinking I might do some black embossing powder. So yeah, should we try this? Oh, I hope this is going to look good. Hope I'm not going to spoil this. Okay, right, so let me pull in my Versamark ink pad. Right, so I quickly switched the camera off to just dig out some stamps, and then I actually found this one, the one that I was talking about just now, where we used that corner stamp. So I'm going to use the scripty section from here, I think. So yeah, now let me check which way up this needs to go. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is really hard to see. Is that up the right way or the wrong way? No, that's so hard to see. I think it goes up that way. Right, okay, so I'm going to use the Versamark. I'm going to use the black heat embossing powder. So I just need to get a sheet of paper to put my you know, excess powder into. So let's just get some sheet of book page. Okay. Right, okay. So I just like to dust the powder off onto here so that I can pour it back into the tub. So, right, now I'm going to start by doing this stamp in several places. So please excuse the state of my Versamark. Obviously heavily used. So, like that, okay. Oh, I'd best try and remember where I'm actually putting this, to be honest. Otherwise can't really see it very clearly. Just as likely to not be able to see it. And then be like, oh no, where do I pour my powder? Right, let's do a couple of bits here off to the side. You know, like we said, making sure that you've got your stuff right up to the edges. So like that, okay? Right, let's put that over there. Oh my goodness, come on. Right, okay. So I'm going to just do here. Okay. Right. Oh, it's a bit tricky to do, but oh, and it's, do you know what? It's sticking all in my glue. I hadn't really thought of that. What an idiot. I should have waited for my glue to dry before doing this, but never mind. Yeah, did not think about that, did I? Okay, that's not too bad. Right, okay, so pop more on. And then going up the other way, so to capture the other. Oh my goodness, that black's all caught, all in the glue. Look at it now. It's got black all over it. Oh dear. Right, okay. So again, should probably just do this a bit more professionally, I suppose, and maybe to try and dust it off with a brush. Yeah, okay. Like that, okay. So yeah, just tidy it up a bit with the brush. Like that, okay. Right. Oh gosh, lots of it here. Okay. Right, I'm sure I've probably got black embossing powder all over everything now, but never mind. Right, so if you're doing this, you may want to wait for your glue to dry. Otherwise, like me, you're going to have then embossing powder stuck all into your glue. Yeah, just not brilliant, not brilliant, but it's okay. Right, let's heat this up. Oh, look, I can even see more as I'm even doing this. Okay. Oh, I mean, I've made a bit of a mess here, to be honest, but because it's kind of like gone into the glue where the actual stamp is, which isn't ideal, but okay, that's it. Oh gosh, look, more of it here. Okie dokie. And then this section. Up here. Right, I'm going to just have to clean this one off a bit. Oh, do you know, every time that I use embossing powder, I love it so much. And I talk about this all the time whenever I use it, but I forget to use it. And every time that I use it, I remember just how much I love the effect it gives. So yeah, it's something I must use more of, to be honest. Okay. Right. So yeah, I mean, I've made a bit of a mess there. I've got the glue, the embossing powder kind of like stuck in everywhere, to be honest. It needs a bit of a dust off, but anyway, it looks okay. I mean, I'm sure that we've got the gist of how it's meant to look. I've kind of like dried it into the glue, unfortunately, now. So yeah, I've got some black going on where it probably shouldn't be, but never mind. Right, do we want to have any other portions from here? We've got a clock. I'm kind of thinking maybe the bee. What do we think to the bee? Do we have the bee? Let's do that. Why wouldn't we? Yeah, why wouldn't we do the bee? So I have got a new stamp block that the lovely Michelle sent me. So thank you so much, Michelle. So, oh my gosh, I hope I don't get this all dirty already on the very first use. I am very bad for getting my blocks dirty. So yeah, right. Let's try not to. I mean, obviously I'm just using the Versamark, so it's not like I'm using a StazOn. I'm not sure that I've actually got that in, but okay. Loving the look of that bee stamp, I have to say. Again, can't really see where I've stamped it, but just trying to remember. Oh my goodness, where did I stamp that other one? I can't see the impression at all. Oh gosh, was it around there somewhere? I don't know. Hoping for the best that I've got it somewhere where it roughly was. Oh, I'm not sure whether I did. Oh well, never mind. It will be interesting to see whether we've got it there, won't it? So yeah, let's get that powder off. Oh no, it's all in the glue again. So this is really a bit of a sort of how not to video, isn't it? Let's be honest. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you're getting some tips of what not to do or how not to do these. You know, I think really kind of the main thing is kind of wait for your glue to dry. Oops. Oh, I've really mucked this up a bit, but never mind. Right, just go in again with our heat tool. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at what's going on with this one. It's where it was on the curve, where the spine of the book was. It was very hard to get to. So yeah, it's not really stamped very well, if I'm truthful, but okay. Right. Oh my goodness. Right. Well, not brilliant, but it's okay. It's okay. Right, let's just quickly do last little bit of stamping. I'm just going to use this little stamp here. It's got some butterflies and some script and things. So again, just fill in some of the blank space, which, I mean, it also is going to go over, you know, where I ended up having a lot of the, powder. It's going to cover some of that up, so it's all fine. Right, do I need any more? Maybe a bit down here. So okay, right, very lopsided, that one. Did not do a good job at all. Oh dear. Right, try not to rush if you are going to do anything like this, because you're not going to get brilliant results if you're rushing it. Okay, right, let's just take my embossing powder. Okay, gives that a bit of a smoosh around the page. So I've got some over to the edge here. Okay, that's that bit. Then let's pull this back on again. I've got some down the side. Did I put any there? No, just down to this side. And then did I have some going off here? Okay, right. Right, again, not brilliant, but it will do. It will do, it will do. Right, let's just pop this back into that pot. Yeah, I hardly ever use the black. You know, when I do embossing, I tend to use the gold embossing powder. That's my favourite. That being said, I love the look of this black one today. It looks gorgeous. So maybe, maybe I'm a convert now. Maybe I will be loving the black now. Again, just dusting off because I've got a lot of the embossing powder caught up in the glue. And to be honest, I hadn't really thought about it when I did it just now, because I thought, oh, it's not going to set in the glue. Well, of course it did, because all that happened was when I heated it, or heat it up, the glue dried. And so, of course, my embossing powder, it just dried into the glue. You know, I just dried into the glue, got glued on. So, you know, so much for me thinking, oh, that's fine, you know. No, it wasn't fine. It just was then gluing it down. So, right, blown a lot of that out of the way. Right, let's give it a quick blast. Okay. Loving this one. I have to say, I'm thinking, does this need some of the gold ink splatters? What do we think? I mean, I love it anyway, but I did love those. Oh, I'm so sorry. I suddenly then noticed that my phone had run out of space and, you know, had stopped filming. So I just quickly finished heat embossing the rest of that black that we had just stamped. So that's it now, completely finished. And it just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Again, what you could do is you could go over kind of, inking it. So I've got here some walnut stain. And again, just ink around, you know, particularly over like the stamps, if any are quite white. Just one or two of them, they're quite white. And that's going to just vintage that up like that. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? And again, you know, you could then Mod Podge over this. You could then put your transparency film over it, you know, if you wanted a more glossy surface. If you like it matte, obviously, you know, then obviously leave it as it is. You could put the ink splatters, like we said. You know, anything that you like. You've now got this whole versatile page on there. from which to use for your projects. And obviously you could go through your entire book, you know, filling up all of your pages, creating different backgrounds. I mean, you could just leave them plain. But you're going to end up with a whole variety of different pages to use. I mean, I have to say this one, I feel I mucked up completely. But, you know, I mean, if that happens, you could always go over that with something else. So, you know, love this one, love this one, love this one. And I've just dug out some lace while I was, you know, fiddling around with my phone, clearing my phone, just to kind of show you instantly how gorgeous does that look. And again, you know, I've got a little cluster here. I mean, look at that for a lovely background to make a little pocket and just put, you know, bit of lace, bit of a cluster on there. Isn't that just going to be gorgeous? And, you know, the same, you know, for instance, this one, again, how lovely does that look? Or, you know, I've got some grey lace here just to sort of show you, you know, different kind of effects. Just grabbing, you know, I mean, obviously I'm not suggesting these are the right clusters to use on here, but just to give you an idea of just how pretty these papers are. And, you know, they're just going to be there at the ready to use. So that's those. This one here, I mean, I can't live with that, to be honest. I do not like it at all. So I have got some gesso here behind me. I'm probably going to ruin it completely by doing this, but because I can't stand looking at it, let's just quickly go over it with a little bit of gesso. And when I say a little bit, it will probably be tons. And like I say, I'll probably ruin it completely, but I'm thinking, you know, could probably tone it right down just by going over with the gesso like that. Okay, so this is a wet wipe going over the whole thing like that. Okay, so it's just bringing it, you know, toning it down. So I mean, if you muck up your background papers like I have done here, what I'm trying to demonstrate is don't just throw them away, because the chances are, you know, don't tear it out and think, oh gosh, I've mucked that one up. The chances are you can probably do something with it to rescue it. So, you know, I'm just going over this with white gesso right now. And then obviously once it's dry, you could probably distress ink this and it's going to look gorgeous. Actually, I'm going to go over it much thicker because, yeah, I actually really love the much thicker gesso there. So like that. Okay, go over the whole thing like that. Okay, like that. And then you could, like I say, ink over the whole thing and it's going to just look lovely. So like that. So don't despair. If, like me, you end up ruining your paper, you know, don't just tear it out and bin it, you know, thinking it's a lost cause. I'm sure you're going to be able to do something to bring it back from the brink. So that one, let's just quickly dry that off. Okay. Oops. Oh, now my heat tool doesn't want to work because it's been obviously working for ages. So it's got like a safety mechanism, you know, where it, once it's got too hot, it won't come on again. So yeah, I'll have to wait. I was going to obviously try and dry that off and then show you it inked up, you know, either in a different colour or, you know, just inking over the what now looks like an embossed surface. Or, you know, maybe kind of you could dab gold onto what looks like that embossed surface. What I'm saying is it's got now all different things that you could do with that. And then again, that now is a gorgeous background. In fact, that now is beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. And again, I mean, I don't want to just ruin this lace putting it down on there because obviously it's wet. But yeah, just to kind of show you, I mean, how lovely is that? So, you know, don't kind of despair. If you deem to have ruined it, I'm sure you can do something to kind of like drag it back from the brink. So, yeah, I hope you feel inspired. Maybe you have made a little book of background papers for, you know, for your use as well. And yeah, I hope that you have fun with it. And yep, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks then. Bye.